What's up, guys? Mickle here. And since the decision in the Ripple SEC case where Judge Torres ruled that XRP is not a security, Bitcoin maxis or anyone anti-XRP has been looking for any reason to try to say XRP still doesn't have clarity. The two main things they typically cite are one, the Terraform's lab case, and two, the appeal in the Ripple SEC case. In this video, I want to break down why both of these arguments fall flat on their face. This is so important to understand because so many people are putting false narratives out in the market right now. I want to break down for you guys exactly why neither of these things matter in the slightest. XRP has permanent clarity, and it is going to start with a super important video of John Deaton making this crystal clear for you guys. This is absolutely critical. XRP right now is the only token in the market with certain clarity. I want to show you exactly why that's the case and why anyone trying to tell you differently is flat out wrong. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's really going to help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP or the Flare token, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So I want to start out this video and really address the Terra Luna situation. So just to give you a quick, very simple background of what's going on here, essentially after Ripple won their case against the SEC, Terraform Labs, that's the Luna Foundation, and Do Kwon were also in a court case against the SEC. Essentially, Terraform Labs went to the judge and said, hey, look, Ripple was able to sell XRP and that wasn't a security, so we should be able to sell Luna in ways that also wasn't securities. In that case, the judge actually went out of his way to say, oh, I don't agree with what Judge Torres said, and therefore this is causing a lot of Bitcoin maxis or people who are just anti-XRP to come out and say, oh, because this other judge rejected Judge Torres's argument, that essentially means that Judge Torres's argument or her ruling is invalid and it leaves XRP's status in question going forward. Well, I want you guys to listen to John Deaton addressing this question because this is really going to hit home on the most important points on the difference between these two cases and why the Terraform's lab case does not impact Ripple or XRP at all going forward. Listen up to this. This is super important.
You have Judge Rakoff in a fraud case, Judge Torres in a non-fraud case. You have Judge Rakoff on a motion to dismiss where he must, as a matter of law, assume everything in the complaint is true, right? That's what he's relying on versus Judge Torres where all the evidence is in. 56.1 statements, XRP holder affidavits, everything is into evidence. Completely different levels. In the Rakoff Terra case, it's mass marketing. The judge talked about a mass marketing campaign where the founders were saying, buying a token anywhere in the world on any type of platform, we're going to make you money. You could do this, you could do that. That's what Judge Rakoff was faced with. Whereas in the SEC v. Ripple case, you had an email from 2014 from Chris Larson as evidence. Who the hell saw that? I wasn't even on Twitter or whatever it is today, X, in 2014. The 6 XRP holders who were named in the lawsuit against the SEC, none of them were on Twitter in 2014. How the hell we know what Chris Larson tweeted in 2014? Oh, there was a brochure sent to 100 people a year later, right? That evidence versus a mass marketing campaign for Terra Luna. Apples to oranges, people. Brad Garlinghouse versus Do Kwon. Do I need to go there? XRP versus Luna. Do I need to go there? Okay, billions of dollars in harm to investors in the Terra case. Billions, right? Now go over to the XRP case, and you got the people saying, Ripple isn't the one that hurt us. It's you, SEC. It's you with your insane, unsupported theory. This nonsense bullshit embodiment theory that you made up out of thin air. All right. Talk about pre-mining shit out of thin air. That was a theory out of thin air from the SEC. We sued you. Okay. Apples to oranges. Very different things.
So John Deaton has a lot of great clips out there, but I thought that was one of the best. And if that was complex, let me just break it down super simple for you. What he is saying is that these cases are completely different. One of the most important things we have learned about the Howey test over the last couple years is you need to apply the Howey test to every single transaction. What these Bitcoin maxis and what these anti-XRP people want to do is say, oh, because the judge in the Terraform case seems suspect about these transactions, that needs to apply to every single cryptocurrency that's not Bitcoin. But that could not be the furthest thing from the truth. The Howey test literally tells us, look at every single transaction, look at every single sale individually, and decide whether that transaction is a security. Therefore, trying to use any logic from the Terraform case and try to apply it to Ripple and XRP doesn't make any sense in the slightest. You cannot even compare the two because it is two completely different situations. John Deaton breaks that down perfectly right here. Trying to even relate the two is comical. It's like trying to say Coinbase is a scam because FTX went under. Obviously, you have completely different scenarios going on there. FTX was commingling funds while Coinbase is running a legitimate exchange. It would just be a dumb argument to make. Well, people are trying to make the same thing with the decision in the Terraform case and how they believe that should impact a completely independent case. John Deaton puts that to rest right here, and I thought he did an excellent job. So now I want to move on and actually go into another thing that these Bitcoin maxis try to say, and that's that the appeal in the Ripple SEC case brings ambiguity to whether or not XRP is going to be deemed a security in the future, because essentially it's getting appealed. So, oh, who knows? Maybe the judge in the next appeal will say XRP is a security. Well, the first thing we need to understand is XRP will never be declared a security. Judge Torres actually ruled that it's a matter of law, not opinion, that XRP cannot be a security. It's code, it's not a contract. So that will never change. Now, when it comes to Ripple sales, I will agree there's a little bit of ambiguity around whether or not it will get appealed on Ripple sales programmatically. These are sales that ultimately go to exchanges, which then end up on the secondary market. Now, the only reason I say there is some question about it is just because they can actually legitimately appeal this, unlike the other things people try to say. They can't even legitimately appeal. It's not even a question that XRP could one day be a security. That's off the table. So if we even take this argument seriously, that Ripple sales of XRP to the exchanges could be securities, then we can analyze this and I can still show you why I don't think there's any way this is going to hit. And the main reason I don't think that is going to be reversed is because Coinbase is currently in a battle against the SEC, and this is going to be likely the case that sets precedent for whether secondary sales of a token are securities. And the Coinbase case is getting a ton of attention right now. Meta Law Man actually tweeted out just the other day, 6 security law scholars filed a devastating amicus brief in support of Coinbase. And essentially this amicus brief was by law professors from Yale, University of Chicago, UCLA, Fordham, Boston University, so a bunch of Ivy League schools, a bunch of extremely smart people, all ripping apart the idea that the token itself on the secondary market could ever embody an investment contract. This is so important because if Coinbase wins their case against the SEC and it's deemed that these secondary market sales of tokens aren't securities, well, that destroys the SEC's appeal. That gets rid of the whole second-hand issue in the secondary market. So Coinbase is essentially fighting a battle right now that will ultimately help Ripple. And that's kind of funny because Ripple's first battle against the SEC helped Coinbase. So the SEC is fighting a massive uphill battle and their position is only weakening. Right here we have Meta Law Man actually confirming that Ripple could use this evidence in their case and it would help them on any appeal in the future. So what the SEC is doing is they're fighting the same issue on a bunch of different fronts and getting smacked around in every single case. The SEC is trying to make up law and the judges and the courts are not having it. This is so important to understand because so many people are trying to twist the facts. So many people are trying to make it seem like these new pieces of litigation go back and bring ambiguity to the market. The only thing this is proving is the SEC is a bunch of sore losers. Judge Torres's ruling was fair and it made a ton of sense. If Ripple goes to an institution and says, hey, we want to sell you XRP and we're going to do these things to increase XRP's price over time as we build out these products, Judge Torres said that was a security. But if me and you are just buying XRP on the secondary market from Coinbase, we don't know if that XRP is coming from Ripple. So how could that be a securities transaction if I don't even know who I'm getting the XRP from? The SEC's cases at this point don't make sense when they come down to the law, and the fact that they are appealing this to higher level courts does not make me nervous because I am 100% confident that the law is going to be reaffirmed in the way that it seems like every single lawyer out there outside the SEC lawyers seem to understand. It is so obvious that the token itself and the token trading on the secondary market does not constitute securities transactions, but this is the evidence the Bitcoin maxis and the anti-XRP people are pointing to. They are pointing to these frivolous cases filed by the SEC, these unrelated cases that have completely different facts and circumstances, and saying this creates a cloud of ambiguity around Ripple and XRP. That could not be the furthest thing from the truth. Going forward, XRP's status as a non-security is never going to change, and there might be some little battles about what Ripple can do and what Ripple can't do, but let me tell you this, based on everything we are seeing in the Ripple case, in the Coinbase case, Ripple is going to be just fine going into the future. They are going to get a slap on the wrist, and worse, they have to plan some of their products a little differently to account for some of these new rules that are being created in real time. Anyway, though, guys, I hope this clears things up. I hope this really helps you understand that going forward, you cannot take any of these arguments seriously. They are only trying to create FUD. Anyway, though, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.